Angel Reese wants the credit alongside Caitlin Clark that she believes she deserves for the growing popularity of women's basketball.
Imagine this. Your team in a league where every game counts suddenly decides to move a home game, not just to a slightly bigger venue down the street, but to a legendary arena usually reserved for NBA giants and rock concerts. That's exactly what the Chicago Sky just did. And get this, it's only happening when one player comes to town, Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese might be telling everyone that women's basketball isn't about a single star, but Chicago's actions are screaming a very different story. Double the seats, double the hype, and all eyes are on the Caitlin Clark show. Is this the ultimate mic drop in the ongoing debate about who's really driving the WNBA's explosive growth? Let's dive in, because this move says more than any headline ever could.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Let's rewind for a second and be brutally honest. Before Caitlin Clark stepped onto a WNBA court, women's basketball was... well, it was there. Solid games, dedicated fans, but let's not pretend it was dominating water cooler conversations or breaking the internet. Attendance figures were decent, arenas were often half empty, and the energy, think polite applause, not roaring crowds. Some games felt more like a casual outing than a must-see sporting event. People were present, sure, but the buzz, the electricity that makes sports truly captivating, it was simmering, not boiling. The WNBA was moving, but it wasn't exactly shaking up the sports world.
Caitlin Clark has become a national phenom, and some fans say they went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
Pretty embarrassing, right? Honestly, the denial is getting kind of amusing at this point. Angel, your team isn't just subtly hinting.
Then, bam! Caitlin Clark arrives, and suddenly everything changes. It's like someone flipped a switch, and the WNBA went from simmering to supernova. Stadiums started filling up at warp speed. Merchandise flying off shelves faster than concert tickets for a boy band reunion. Social media? Forget about it. Every highlight, every game, every move was trending. Sports channels couldn't get enough. Fans were traveling across states, booking flights just to catch a glimpse of her magic. Even your uncle who only watches golf knows who Caitlin Clark is now. The league didn't just wake up, it exploded. This wasn't a gradual increase. It was an overnight sensation of epic proportions.
And for the first time in history, WNBA games will be played in the United Center. The Chicago Sky will host the Indiana Fever at the UC on Saturday, June 7th.
Now let's talk about Angel Reese. She made headlines recently with a bold statement declaring that the WNBA's rising popularity isn't just about one player, subtly suggesting herself as a major part of the equation. Confidence is great, we love it, sports thrive on it, but then comes the Chicago Sky's move. They literally double their arena capacity, but only for games against Caitlin Clark's team. The timing is, well, let's just say it's louder than words. Imagine being so sure of your own star power only to watch your own team management essentially put up a giant billboard saying Caitlin Clark is the main attraction. If the Sky truly believed Reese's claim, wouldn't they upgrade for her games too? Crickets. Instead, they pull out all the stops for Clark, making it crystal clear who the fans are coming to see. Ouch, that's a reality check served ice cold.
One of the leaders to help millions of young girls realize their dreams, not just in sport.
This isn't just a Chicago thing, folks. The Caitlin Clark effect is rippling across the entire WNBA. Look at the Atlanta Dream. They moved their games against Indiana to the State Farm Arena, home of the NBA's Hawks. Then the Washington Mystics did the same thing, upgrading to Capital One Arena, the Wizards' home court, just because Caitlin was on the visiting team. Think about that for a second. Teams are rearranging their schedules, changing venues, not for a playoff game, not for a rivalry match, but for a rookie's regular season game. If that doesn't scream star power, what does? It's a league-wide phenomenon, a seismic shift in attention, and it's all pointing in one direction.
They are playing, obviously, in the United Center. There are 20,000 seats.
But even with all this evidence, there's a group refusing to see it, the haters, if you will. They're clinging to the narrative that Caitlin isn't the center of the WNBA universe. Why the denial? Perhaps it's pride. Maybe it's hard to accept that a rookie, someone new to the league, could so dramatically alter the landscape. Imagine dedicating your life to a sport, grinding for years, and then suddenly someone seemingly comes out of nowhere and steals the spotlight in a way you never could. It's uncomfortable. It challenges the established order. But sometimes the truth, however uncomfortable, is undeniable. What are they really afraid of admitting? Let's cut through the noise and look at the cold, hard facts. Numbers don't lie, and in this case, they are shouting from the rooftops. Ticket sales for Fever games, especially those featuring Caitlin Clark, have skyrocketed. Attendance is through the roof. These aren't just marginal increases, we're talking about exponential growth. Fans are voting with their wallets and their feet. They are packing arenas, buying merchandise, tuning into broadcasts in record numbers. This isn't about hype alone, it's about genuine, tangible demand. The Chicago Sky didn't move to the United Center for fun. They did it because they know the fans will be there in droves, ready to spend their money. It's simple economics, driven by one undeniable force. Chicago's decision to move those Fever games to the United Center? Genius, pure and simple. They saw the wave coming, and instead of trying to fight it, they grabbed a surfboard. They recognized Caitlin's star power and turned it into a massive business opportunity. Now imagine if Angel Reese took a different approach. Imagine if she channeled her energy into seizing this moment, stepping onto that United Center court in front of 20,000 fans and delivering a performance for the ages. She could be sharing the headlines, proving her own worth, making her bold claims believable. Instead, the narrative is becoming one of resistance, of missing the point. Chicago is making smart business moves, while the opportunity for others to truly capitalize alongside Clark hangs in the balance. It's not just the fans and the ticket sales, even basketball royalty is acknowledging the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. Lisa Leslie, a WNBA legend, didn't just offer a polite compliment, she called Caitlin a game changer, a player reshaping the entire league. When someone who practically defined women's basketball says that, you listen. And then there's Coach K, the iconic Duke coach, whose opinion in basketball circles carries immense weight. He called Caitlin the most exciting player today, praising her global impact and inspiration for young girls. Legends, icons, the very people who have shaped the sport are lining up to acknowledge her influence. This isn't fleeting hype, it's a fundamental shift recognized at the highest levels. Let's be clear, the Caitlin Clark phenomenon isn't going anywhere. This isn't a flash in the pan, it's a transformation. She's making women's basketball relevant on a scale never seen before. New fans are tuning in, becoming diehards overnight. This translates to bigger TV deals, more sponsorships, better pay for everyone in the league. Hating on Caitlin at this point is like complaining about sunshine. She's elevating the entire sport, and resisting her rise is just bad business? The Chicago Sky's United Center move is just the latest, loudest signal. The wave is here, it's growing, and it's time to ride it or get swept away. The new era of the WNBA has arrived, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge. Let's not mince words. What we are witnessing with Caitlin Clark is not just a moment, it's a monumental shift in the landscape of women's sports. The Chicago Sky moving their game to the United Center isn't just a smart business decision, it's a flashing neon sign illuminating the dawn of a new era. Forget whispers of hype. The numbers are screaming, legends are bowing, and arenas are bursting at the seams. This isn't a fleeting trend destined to fade, it's a fundamental recalibration of how the world views and consumes women's basketball, and by extension, women's sports as a whole. Caitlin Clark isn't just drawing crowds, she's dismantling old perceptions, shattering attendance records, and injecting an unprecedented level of energy and excitement into the WNBA. Think about the ripple effect. More eyes on the game mean more lucrative media deals, attracting bigger sponsors, which in turn fuels better resources and opportunities for every single player in the league. This isn't just about one superstar, it's about elevating the entire ecosystem. While some cling to outdated narratives, desperately trying to downplay her impact, the reality on the ground is undeniable. The WNBA is experiencing a renaissance, a surge in popularity that was almost unimaginable just months ago. And at the heart of this transformation is Caitlin Clark, a player whose talent is matched only by her undeniable draw. So while the doubters and the haters can continue to murmur in the shadows, the train has already left the station. The Caitlin Clark phenomenon is not a wave to be ridden, it's more like a tsunami, reshaping the coastline of women's sports as we know it. To resist it, to deny it, is to be left behind, clinging to a past that is rapidly receding. The Chicago Sky's move to the United Center is more than a venue change. It's a symbolic embrace of this new reality, a bold declaration that the WNBA is stepping onto a bigger stage, ready for its close-up. Whether everyone else chooses to join the celebration or watch from the sidelines is their choice. But one thing is certain, the game has changed. The audience is growing exponentially, and the future of women's basketball, led by figures like Caitlin Clark, is brighter than ever before. This isn't just a new chapter, it's a whole new volume, and it's just getting started.